I'm Nitin. I'm going to give you a session on Ansible introduction today. I'm going to teach you how to use Ansible for basic configuration management and orchestration tasks. So when we talk about configuration management, what do we mean by configuration management? We are typically talking about writing the desired state of the servers. The right packages are installed, configuration files contains the expected values, and it has the expected permissions, right services are running or not, and so on. This is all about configuration management. So where the word Ansible came from? It is a science fiction reference. Ansible is a fictional communication device that can transfer information faster than the speed of light. So what is Ansible? Ansible is configuration management tool, as I said earlier. So we can manage the configuration of the servers of the remote servers, okay, using Ansible, and it can be typically mentioned in the same breath as we do have Chef, Puppet, and Salt, okay, and it can be used for as a deployment tool. So you can deploy any code like Java code to any set of remote servers using Ansible. So it makes life easier for a system admin. They can use the single tool as Ansible for configuration management as well as for deploying their code. Orchestration tool. So we can use Ansible as an orchestration tool also. So what do you mean by orchestration? Orchestration means executing a task in some particular sequence. Okay, so we can execute the task in a sequence using Ansible. So we can design that sequence in Ansible. Okay, so like we may need to bring up the database servers before we bring up the web server. So that is kind of sequence we can design in Ansible. Okay, integration with AWS cloud. So we can perform all the tasks which we are performing on AWS console using Ansible. Okay, so we can launch instance, we can terminate instance, we can create volume, we can remove volume, we can take the snapshot. So every task which we are performing on AWS console, we can do the same task using Ansible playbooks. So what is Ansible playbook? So Ansible playbook is nothing. It is a script consists of name of the server, which we define in the inventory file. Okay, it consists of task to be executed. It consists of some other parameters may, we may require to execute the task. So I will write some playbooks in my practical session and we'll show you how it works. Okay, so this is all about Ansible playbook, and yes, Ansible playbooks are being written in YML format. So what is that? Yet another markup language, and we use Jinja 2 for template in Ansible. So both YML as well as Jinja 2 are very easy to pick up for system admin. Okay, so it is very easy to read and easy to write the code in Ansible. Okay, so why people are preferring Ansible when we do have some other tools also in the market like Puppet, Chef, and Salt? So why people are preferring Ansible? First, as I said earlier, it is easy to read and write. If you see the Ansible playbook, it is just like a README file that describes the command you had to type to perform a task. Okay. Second is it is agentless. So there is no need to install any agent. Okay. So in Puppet or Chef, in other configuration management tools, we require a agent. Okay. So every host which are to be managed by Puppet server, we have to install agent on it. Okay. But in case of Ansible, there is no need of any agent. We just need to install Ansible package on our control machine. Okay. And establish the passwordless authentication between control machine as well as your remote machine. Okay. So there is no need of agent. Third is it is push based. The tools like Puppet or Chef, those are all pull based, but Ansible is push based. So what do you mean by pull based and push based? In Puppet, the client which we are managing through Puppet will contact to the Puppet server on a periodic time basis. By default, it is 30 minutes, yeah, which is set in the configuration files of Puppet. Anyway, the parameter is configurable parameter, so you can change it. But by default, the client is supposed to contact to the Puppet server in an interval of 30 minutes, and we'll see if any change event is there. If it is there, then it will pull all those events and apply those events to itself. So that is how Puppet and Chef works. But Ansible, in case of Ansible, it is push based. So the you just need to write the playbooks and execute it on a set of servers. Okay. If you want to do some changes, then just go ahead and change your playbook and execute it once again. Okay. Okay. So like other tools, other configuration management tool, idempotent. So it is Ansible is also idempotent by nature. Okay, what is idempotent? If we are doing some changes using configuration management tool, if you are doing some modification, or if you are suppose you are adding a user to the remote machine using Ansible, so if it is already existing, suppose I have added a user on my remote machine using Ansible, and the user is already existing on my machine, on remote machine. Okay, so it will not do anything. If it is existing, then it will do something. It will add the user, or it will run the service, or it will stop the service, like that. Okay. So if you will talk about writing a shell script for managing a user or for managing some services, so you may need to apply some conditions using if else, right? If service is running, then do this. If it is not running, then do this. But in configuration management tools, in every tool you can say Ansible, Puppet, or Chef, you just need to define the desired state of the service. Okay. So you just need to say started. Okay. Started means it will start the service if it is stopped. And if it is started already, then it will not do anything. But you need not to write if else conditions. Okay. So it is idempotent by nature. So let's talk about working of Ansible. Yeah. So when we are executing our playbooks, Ansible will convert the playbook into Python script. Okay, so this is the first step. Second is it will copy the Python script to the remote server, which we are going to manage through Ansible. Okay, and third is it will task, wait for the task to be completed for all the hosts, wait for the task to complete for all the hosts before it moves to the next task. all the tasks are executed in task will be executed in parallel. Okay, task will be executed in parallel. So this is all about introduction of Ansible. Now I'm going to run some ad hoc modules in Ansible and will show you the installation of Ansible and how to manage our remote servers using Ansible. So let's start with some practical stuff now. I have launched three machines. In fact, one will be control machine named as Ansible, and there are two other machines, Red Hat 1 and Red Hat 2. So I'm going to manage the configuration running on or configuration and services running on Red Hat 1 and Red Hat 2 using my Ansible control machine. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah. So these are the three sessions which I have taken already. One is Ansible. So I will install Ansible package on this machine and will manage these two machines from my control machines. So these are my remote machines and this is my control machine. Okay. So let's start installing Ansible. So before installing Ansible, I must have EPEL package on my machine. So let's download this package, run it, install it using yum. So EPEL package has been installed on my Ansible control machine. Let's go ahead and install Ansible package now. Yeah, yeah, here we go. So now I have installed EPEL package, EPEL-release package, and Ansible package on my Ansible control machine. Now I'm going to add some users on all the machine. I'm going to add Ansible user on my remote machine as well as I think Ansible user is already existing on my one of the remote machine. But I'm not going to add this Ansible user on one of the other machine, one of the remote machine. So I do have concern here. Okay, I do have Ansible on one of the remote machine and concern on one of the machine. So I do have Ansible on my control machine. Okay, so let's go ahead and set the password for Ansible. Let's switch to this Ansible user. We have to make the passwordless authentication between control machine and remote machine. So I hope you are all aware of the process how to make the connection as passwordless. Let's switch to Ansible user on your remote machine. Switch to concern user on your remote machine. So let's set the permission for .ssh and go inside .ssh. Let's generate key has been generated. Copy this public key and paste it to your remote machine. Okay. Yeah, copy it. Do the same on your third, second remote machine. Okay. Go to SSH, go open this authorized underscore key file, copy the public key here. Now let's see if it is connection, if it is passwordless or not. Do SSH to your remote machine. Yeah, so I'm logged in without password. That's perfectly fine. And try to log in into the other remote machine. But here the user is concerned, not Ansible. Okay, I'm logged in. So connect. Passwordless authentication has been set between your control machine and remote machine. Okay, so this is all what you need to do for running Ansible. Okay, install EPEL release, then install Ansible package, set up the passwordless authentication, SSH authentication between your control machine and your remote machine, which you are going to manage through Ansible. Okay, now let's uh, let's do one thing. Let's create your inventory file, or let's say inventory file name is hosts. Here you need to give the name of the group. Okay, it can be any name. So let's suppose I'm giving prod here. If you are having some other group, some other servers like dev server, dev group, so you can create dev group, you can create test group, and you can add the IP address of your all of your production server here, dev server here, and test server here. So you can keep on adding groups here. Okay? So the format of this inventory file is in JSON. I hope you are already aware of the format. Okay. So let's add one of the server in production and add one of the server in stage or dev. Okay. So this is my one of the machine. IP is 83. Copy it and paste it to dev. Okay. There is no test server. Now let's run your first ad hoc module of Ansible, that is ping. Okay, specify the inventory file name, it is hosts. Then specify the group name on which you want to run your module. So it is, if it is ping module, then say ping here. Then it will run ping module for all the servers mentioned in your group prod. Okay, so one server I have one server in my prod group, right? So that's the reason the ping module was executed only on the IP address 62.11, which is there in my prod group. Okay. Suppose I want to run this ping module on my other group, that is dev. So what you need to do, you just need to replace prod with dev and say ping. Sorry. Yeah. Ansible. Yeah. So what is happening here? For one of the remote machine that is the part of production, it says that success. Okay, 62.11 IP address 172.31.62.11 success changed false ping pong. So if we get the result as ping pong, then it means connection is successful. Okay, so when we say connection is successful, it means Ansible control machine is able to connect to the remote machine. Okay, and the connection is passwordless. SSH connection is passwordless. Okay, if any of the condition is not meeting, then it will say, it will report some errors. Okay, like in my case, for one of the hosts it says ping pong and success connection, but for other host which is the part of dev group, it says unreachable and authentication failed. So why authentication failed? See, I'm logged in my control machine as Ansible. Okay. So what it will do, Ansible will try to SSH to my remote machine through Ansible only. So as I said, on one of the machine, I do not have Ansible user. Okay, so or what you can do, you can just copy this IP address. Okay, copy the IP address and do SSH from your control machine and see if you are able to log in. No, it is asking for the password, right? Why? Because on my remote host, I do have concern. So SSH passwordless authentication has been set between Ansible user on control machine and concern user on your remote machine. Okay, so let's exit from here and run your ping module once again with some extra options, with some option called U. Okay, and say that, yeah, now it says that success, ping pong. So now what it is doing, it is connecting to the remote machine using concern user, not Ansible. And now the connection has been established and it says that it is successful. I'm getting the output as ping pong. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you. Now let's run some other modules. Or if let me tell you one more thing. See, I'm executing my ping module on prod group and then dev group. So if suppose I want to execute ping module on all the servers, okay, on all the servers at once. So what I can do, I can just replace dev to all, okay. But this way, I will get error for one of the hosts. Why? Because I haven't mentioned remote user. Okay. So what I can do? I can just open my inventory file once again and say here Ansible underscore SSH underscore user is equal to concern. Okay. Now try to run your ping module once again with let's remove this hyphen u concern and execute your ping module once again. So now it says success. Okay. Okay. So this way we can define Ansible SSH user, which is my remote user concern in my inventory file. Okay. So now I'm able to execute ping module on all the servers. Okay. The servers which are defined in my prod group and the server which are defined in my dev group. Okay. I hope this is all clear to you guys. Now I'm going to install a package using Ansible Adobe module. Yum. Okay. So now let's suppose you are to install a package called tree. Let us see if it is installed already or not on your remote machine. I hope it is not. Yeah, it is not there. And do the same on other server. Yeah, a tree package is not installed on your remote machine as of now. And I'm going to install this tree package using Ansible on both the servers. Okay. So what should I do? Ansible hyphen hosts. I'm not going to define prod or dev here. I will say all. So this way I will install tree package on all the servers. Okay, whether they are part of dev or whether they are part of prod. Ansible hyphen I host all. Then I'm going to use yum module. In the argument, you have to give the name of the package which you are going to install, and you have to say this state as install. Okay. Uh, let's execute this and see. Yeah, it will fail. I know. Yeah. So it is failing. Why? It says that failure talking to yum, failure talking to yum. So why is it so? Again, just keep in your mind, Ansible control machine will connect to your remote machine through Ansible user. And can we install package using normal user? No, obviously no. We have to have root rights. Only root can install a package, right? Normal user cannot install a package. So what should I do? First of all, let's log in into your remote machine and see if your Ansible is root, if your Ansible is having sudo to root access or not. It is added to wheel group. I already added Ansible to the wheel group, and your sudo file. In sudo file, I have to edit my sudo file to enable wheel entry. Okay. So there are two options here. One is with password, second is no password. So let's suppose I'm going to enable with password option. Okay, and do the same on your other machine for concern user. Concern is already added in wheel group. Uh, let's look into your sudo file. In sudo, it is no password, so let's change it to with password. Okay, as we do have for other server. Let's keep it simple and keep it same on both the servers. Okay, now when Ansible control machine will connect to the remote machine through SSH, then it will do sudo to root and then install your package. But for instructing it to use sudo, we have to give one option in my command itself. So the option is -s. So -s is for sudo. Okay. Let's run the command once again. It is still failing. Why? Because it require a password. So like if you switch to Ansible user and if you do sudo su hyphen, so it will ask for the password, right? So this is where it is getting stuck. Okay. Now there are two options. Okay, two options. If the password for Ansible user on 6211 and concern user on 5483 is same, then we have an option ask sudo pass and press enter. It will ask for the password. Okay, so the password will be the same which we have for Ansible and for concern. Okay, but in my case it may be different, so the best option is to enable no password entry in my sudo file. Okay, so let's comment it out. Do the same on your other server. Okay, now run the command once again without ask sudo pass option, just with -s option. Now let's see what will be the output. Yeah, I hope it has installed the package on all the servers, on two servers, both the servers. So on 6211 it says success, changed true. It has given some output also. And for 5483 success, changed true. It says some results in the output. Let's go in and log in into your remote machine and check the package. It is installed. I'm able to run tree command on both both the machines. So it means package has been installed. You can check using RPM command also. Yeah, package has been installed. Let's login back to your control machine. If suppose I I have to remove this package. So in place of install, you can just say remove and run the command once again. So it will remove the package. It will remove the package. So it is failing. Yeah, not remove, sorry. It is absent. Sorry, that was my mistake. So in place of install, you just need to say absent. Okay. This way, it will remove the package on both the servers. Tree, it is not there. Tree, it is not there. So package has been removed. Okay. So this way, we can add the package, we can remove the package. We just need to define the, you know, state of the service. Or let us suppose we are to control some service. Okay. On my machine, let us suppose there is some service which is running. Let us say if NTPD is running or not. It is stopped. Okay, and let us check the NTPD service on other server also. It is stopped currently. So let us manage the service using Ansible ad hoc command. Okay, Ansible hyphen I can define this. Give the name of your inventory and hyphen I host. Then yeah, give the name of the module. So module which I'm going to use is service. Then give the name of your argument. Name is equal to NTPD. Okay, and state is equal to start. State. So what it will do? It will start NTPD service on all the servers. So I just need to define the group name. Let us suppose I'm going to manage NTP service on all the servers, on both the servers in my environment. So I will use all here. So what it says failed. So why it is failing? Again, we have to use hyphen s option because normal user cannot manage the service. So it says started success. Okay. So let us check the status once again. It is running now and it is running on other server also. So this is how we can manage the service. I have installed the package, I have removed the package, I have managed the service, I have stopped and started the service using Ansible. So let us suppose you want to stop the service. So in case of, so you just need to replace this started with stopped. Okay, so this way it will stop the service. So this is all about introduction of Ansible and some ad hoc commands, ad hoc modules of Ansible. So in my next session, I will write some playbooks of Ansible and will show you the syntax to write the playbooks, and you will see how easy it is. Okay. So I will use Ginger 2 template in my playbooks. Okay, in my second session. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So thank you friends.